रूप की शोभा माल के माणे, रूप की शोभा इत विधि जन्म गवाया। मत जान गलवाया। अमल कर धरती बीज शब्दों कर, सच की आब नित देहवाणी। होए किसान ईमान जमायल, होए किसान ईमान जमायल। भिसत दोजक मूड़े एव जानी, भिसक दोजक मूड़े एव जानी। मत जान सा गले बाया, मत जान सा गले बाया। रूप मान के माणे, रूप की शोभा माल के माणे, रूप की शोभा इत विधि जन्म गवाया। ऐब तन चिकड़ो एह मन मींड को, ऐब तन चिकड़ो ए तन मींड को। कमल की सार नहीं मूल बाई, भार उस्ताद नित भाके बोले। भार उस्ताद नित भाके बोले। क्यों बुझे जान बुझाई, क्यों बुझे जान बुझाई। मत जान सा गलवा। आखण सुनना पाण की वाणी, ए मन रता माया। आखण सुनना पाण की वाणी, ए मन रता माया। खस्म की नजर दिले पसंदे, खस्म की नजर दिले पसंदे। जिनी कर एक ध्याया, जिनी कर एक ध्याया। मत जान सा गले माया, मत जान सा गले माया। ती कर राखे पंज कर साथी, नाव शैतान मत कट जाई। ती कर रखे पंज कर साथे, नाव शैतान मत कट जाई। नानक आखे राह पे चलना, माल धन कित को संजयाई। ਮਾਲ ਧਨ ਕਿਤਹੁ ਸੰਜਿਆਏ ਮਤ ਜਾਣਸ ਗੱਲੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਮਤ ਜਾਣਸ। In our last sitting, Gurbani was sending an alert message, and in that hymn the central theme was Kahe garbas moode maya pit sito sagal ka latar mata tere hoye na ant sakhaya rahao. The message was that every human being in this dimension, because of the lack of understanding, because of the shortage of awareness, that's why that word used was moode. Mood means the one who doesn't know. It's not his fault, he's ignorant. And the ignorance leads to the arrogance, the ego. It is the ignorance which says, I am somebody. I must be somebody. Even we have, I saw a little child before going to bed. There's a poster, there's a little child, just like you see that picture over there, and he has folded hands and he's looking toward the sky and say, oh God, I know I am somebody because you make no junk. So I must be something, you know. Only people make junk, you don't make junk, so I must be something. I must be somebody. And Gurbani alerts us and says, Kahe garbas moode maya. O the ignorant one, why don't you see the truth of the statement that everything is happening, everything is being done? Why are you attaching the sense of doer with everything? Which was the message, the very first message that Guru Nanak in his early age, the very young age, when he was asked by his father to take these cattle to the field and feed them. And look at the message. Can anybody feed the cattle? Is that possible? Can you? You shook your head.
People do it every day.
Oh, is that right? How do they do that?
They feed their cattle.
How? What they do? Let's say what you do. Just go through the process. What do they do?
Whatever needs to be fed, it is kept in front of the cattle.
So, is that feeding?
Because if it is not kept, the cattle won't be able to eat.
True. But what is he doing? He just put the feed in front of it.
Right.
So, if I put the food in front of you and you don't eat, am I feeding you?
Okay. Got the point.
All you're doing is creating the environment. You have no capacity. We have a saying, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
That's right.
Can you? It's impossible. A human cannot make the animal do something. And even then we say, I did it. And Guru Nanak says, hey, what a totally illogical statement by an adult. Majjiyan chara liya. Go get them fed. Even the eye is attached with something which is impossible to do under any circumstances. Even there the eye is attached. मैं मज्जा चरा के ले आया. हम कहते ना कहना गौवा चरवा रहे हैं, कहते ना अरे कहन गऊ कैसे चरवा सकता है? वो गऊ को वहां ले जा सकता है. Right? Krishna can only take the cows into the field. He can't feed them. They have to feed themselves. Why? Because there is a urge given to them by somebody. What is that urge? That's called hunger. It will be that hunger which will force them to gobble up that feed, whatever that feed is. So in the final analysis, even that is being done. The doer concept we attach with everything. And this was the very first lesson from the master in the childhood. So what did he do? He just sat on the side. There are nothing to do. I can't do anything with the cattle, and cattle can't do anything for me. And your land, your field, your cows, your buffaloes, let them do what they want to do. What comes natural to them? I am not a doer in that act. I cannot be identified as a doer of that action. But the lack of understanding attaches the I with everything. And that was a lesson from the last time. Kahe garbas mude maya. Look at the Rahav from the last time. That was the central theme. Put shuto sagar kalattar mata tere hoyo na ant sakhaya. All the things that you attribute to, why are you doing things? I'm doing it for my wife. I'm doing it for my child. I'm doing it for my friend. I'm doing it for my husband. I'm doing it for my wife. Whatever you are saying, this is just a covering over your arrogance, over your ego, because you want to attach the I with everything. Well, then how do you get out of this? If attaching the I is damaging the consciousness, if it is holding down my spiritual evolution, how do I get out of it? And so the Gurbani basically is trying to shatter the myth. What is the myth? We go to a saint, we go to a sadhu, we go to a yogi, we go to anybody who will touch my forehead and I suddenly will be enlightened. I just need to find that saint. I need his blessing. He touches my forehead, I touch his feet, or whatever else. He'll give me water, he will give me dust, he will give me this, and I will be on my way. Gurbani says absolutely all bunk. This is one journey which cannot be shared. It can only be pointed out to you. Somebody may be able to say to you, I walked this way. I encountered these difficulties. I encountered these good points. I encountered these difficult situations. And that's basically it. But you have to walk this journey yourself. And that's the next hymn. It says, Amal kar dharti. Amal. Put it into practice. If you are not tilling the land, how are you going to sow anything in it? Prepare the land first. Amal kar dharti. Dharti means land. Amal means the action. Prepare it. So, those of you who have done any gardening in the home, you know that you first, if you're preparing the soil, what you have to do? You have to first dig it up. Then remove all the weeds as well as the stones as well as anything that will hinder the plant growth. Then you're going to bring some fertilizer and you're going to mix it. And after mixing it, you're going to water the land and level it out again and let it sit for a while. When you think that the fertilizer on the land has been prepared, then you're going to again make cuts in it. Right? When the land is ready, the term uses land vattar aa gayi hai, zameen vattar hai, vat which hai. Now it is ready to be sowed. Once you prepare the land, then you create the rows where you're going to plant the seed, and then you put the seed in there. And the seed must go deep into the land. It should not be visible to either the eye or the bird, for that matter. Birds are very fond of the seed that you put in the side. After a day or so, it becomes softer. And they are very ready food for sparrows and little crows and things like that. So it should go deep enough. And it should stay there that way. So then what happens? Then you level the land again and you leave it alone. That's it. Your job is done. That's the process of forming. Gurbani is using that model. It says, Amal kar dharti, beej shabdo kar. So what is the dharti now here? What is the dharti? What's the land? Our body. Prepare the body first. Healthy body contains the healthy mind. Healthy mind is a necessary for the healthy body. So both are necessarily together. Therein lies the problem. Gurbani said you need a healthy, and we said, well, I need to take a bath every 2 hours. It wasn't implied anywhere. The water relationship with the body has nothing else, no water, whether it's coming from Ganges or a Saraswati or a Jamuna, it doesn't matter, or from any mountain thereof, no water can wash the sins. A total fabrication by the people who just want to extract some money out of you. Water is only there to clean the body of the dust and the dirt and help the skin breathe properly so that you are healthy. And you are decent and you are not odorous, so that when you get into meditation, you are not repelling somebody or repelling yourself. That's the only purpose. So Gurbani said, you need to what? Prepare the land, which is the body. So it's obvious if the body is going to be prepared, and now you're going to ask the people, so should I eat meat or not? Should I drink wine or not? Well, what do you think? Can a drunkard do meditation? If you can, by all means go ahead. If while you're drunk you can't even hold your body and your limbs in control, then the answer is very obvious. Should I eat meat? Well, you sit down, and is the meat calling you back all the time and you are burping all over the place? If you are, what's the answer? If you're going to meditate, don't eat meat. If you're going to meditate, don't drink wine or whiskey or scotches or beers. Don't take any alcoholic beverages. Don't take any drug. Don't smoke. Why not smoke? What's wrong with that? Well, that's a drug also. It's addictive. It's smelly. Don't take that. What does that mean? We are preparing the dharti. We are preparing the land. In that land, what are we going to do? You see, in the good old days, the mind was very simple. The consciousness that Buddha faced wasn't faced by Jesus. The consciousness that Muhammad faced was not faced by Buddha. Consciousness that Nanak faced wasn't faced by Jesus or Muhammad. Consciousness was faced by Nanak would say, why not? consciousness that Jesus faced, didn't ask that question. He goes to the fisherman and he says, what are you doing? He says, I'm fishing. Fishing for what? Fish. What if I make you a fisherman of the people? Would you like that? He said, of course. Then come with me. And that was it. You can actually catch the people rather than just the fish. I'll give you the technique. And people followed. Nobody said, what are you talking about? If I catch the person, what am I going to do with it? The fish I eat. I can't eat the people. So why you're asking me to become a fisherman of the people? Nobody argued. He said, did you like to be king? He said, yeah. I'll give you a better king than the Roman kingdom. Oh. That's what caused the Roman got bent out of shape, because he was calling himself to be a higher king than the Roman king. That was the whole problem. But he was talking metaphorically. He was talking the kingdom which has not been seen, heard, known, only felt inside. So, but in Nanak's time, the mind had grown enough where he himself at the age of 13 could look straight into the face of that Pandit who's saying, I am going to do your Janev. And he said, what is a Janev? He said, that makes you a Hindu. Oh, is that right? How does a Janev make me Hindu? Explain to me. At age of 13, he is questioning in the presence of the entire family gathering. Tell me, how putting the Janev in my throat, in my shoulder, in my neck, would this necklace make me a Hindu? If you can explain this to me, I am willing to do it. 5,000 years ago, nobody questioned that. Nobody asked that question. And that's why he is answering the questions before they are asked. He says, prepare the land before you put the seed. If the land is not ready, seed will not grow into a plant, and the plant will not give you the fruit that you are yearning for. Amal kar dharti. And what is the seed? Beej Shabdo kar. What's the seed? The Shabd, the word, the meditation, the chanting of that word, that mantra, whatever that mantra is. And once you start that process, then what you do? Sach ki aab nit dehe pani. How are you going to nourish it? How are you going to nurture it? The farmer has to nurture the field after planting the seed. What is that? He sends the water, isn't it? He waters the plant. He says, what is the water for you on this journey? It's a truthful living. Very difficult thing. This condition is very difficult. Not an easy thing. What truthful living means? Truthful living doesn't mean you say, ki kar ji roti kha rahe hain. Well, I'm eating, I'm taking my dinner, so I said I'm taking my dinner and I'm telling the truth. That's not the truth he's talking about. The truth he's talking about is, whatever is your basic essence, it should be the same for everybody. You should not change because you're talking to your daughter. You should not change because you are telling the same thing to your friend. You should not change because you're repeating the same thing to your husband. You should not change. If you are change, depending upon the person you are facing, you are not living a truthful living. Which is what we do. Our whole life is revolving around that. What? The world should see a different face. If we were not afraid of that the people will drop by in a house, see how many beds are made, how many kitchens are cleaned, and how many rooms are vacuumed, just watch. If not, You ask any teenager, you tell them to make their bed, that's the first question they will ask, who's coming? Somebody coming, mom? If not, close my door, they are not going to go into my room. If nobody is coming, and the advertisement comes on the television, there is a sales going on, going to finish in 2 hours, lady will drop everything in his hand. Whether she's washing the clothes or doing the dishes or vacuum the floor, well, I'll do it after. Let me run first there. The priorities will change. Why? Because I am not the same under every circumstance. My true essence is not even known to me. I dare anyone sitting here to say, this is my true essence. Think about it. Are you the same when you go to the market? Are you the same when you go to the business? Are you the same when you meet your friends, your relatives, and then you come home and you are by yourself? Are you same then? There is a beautiful Russian story that if you want to know the two characteristics of a person, there are 3 ways to find the 2 characteristics of a person. Make him drink and let him talk about himself. Watch his behavior when he is absolutely sure that he is completely alone and nobody is watching him. Observe him. Or read his personal letters written to personal friends. Something of the self comes out. Not business letters, personal correspondence. Because we change. Under every circumstance we change. So Gurbani is saying, if you are going to nurture the meditative states, you have to learn what? Sach ki aab nit dehe pani. This is a daily routine. What? The watering of that seed, which is na, the Shabd, is the truthful living. And then you have to develop one characteristics, which is what? Hoe kirisan. Now think about why he is saying learn something from the farmer. Think about it. When a farmer puts the seed in the ground and comes home, is there anything he can do after that? Well, he can go every day and dig up that seed if see if something happened to it or not. Does he do that? What if he did that? That seed will never, because you know the seed that is exposed to the air doesn't convert, right? So that means he has to leave it in the ground. He cannot touch it. Okay. Can he tell the seed, hey, I am in a rush, why don't you come up right now? Every seed has its life cycle, isn't it? You put the flowers, they come up in a month, a week. You put some vegetables, they come in 6-7 weeks. But you put the apple tree, it will, or a mango tree, it will take years. Isn't it? Every seed has lifespan. So what is the farmer to do? It has to just come back and sit and have patience and wait and pray and be in meditation. There's nothing else he can do. So much so, there is a quotation in Gurwani that a farmer, after planting the seeds, comes home and next morning there are some clouds and he comes out of the house to look at the clouds. Because if the clouds are there, maybe he doesn't have to go and water it, it will rain. And Gurbani says even that is not the right thing to do. Why? And there's a beautiful quotation. Kya ut ut dekhe bapure, is meghe ke vas kich nahe, jin e meg pathaya tehe rakho man mahe. Gurbani says, you tell me, you came out to look at this. Meg means the badal, the cloud. You came to look at it. You tell me, is it necessary that there is a cloud and that there definitely will be rain? A cloud is there, it may rain. It may not rain. Or if it rains, it may not rain in your field, it may rain in the neighbor's field. You have nothing under your control. So why are you even bothering? If it happens, it will happen. What should you do? You say you just go sit and meditate the name of the person, the entity, that energy which is creating these clouds. Jin e meg pathaya tehe rakho man mahe. Think about that. Forget everything else. You control absolutely nothing. Your duty was to put the seed, which you did. The fruit isn't within your control, which is what? Isn't that what Krishna said to Arjuna? You just act and forget the result. That's what Gurbani is saying. You put the seed and forget it. How forget it? He says, like the farmer. Hoye kisan iman jamaile. Have faith that if the seed is going to become a plant, it will by His grace, not by your doing. You just keep on watering and keep on waiting. And that's it. Hoy kisan iman jamaile bhisit dojak mude ev jani. Bhisit means heaven. Dojak means hell. Gurbani says that is the difference between heaven and hell. When you are in surrendering, accepting the will, you are in heaven. When you are fighting the will, going against the will, trying to change the will, you are creating your own hell. That's all there is to it. What is the hell stage? We create a desire. Well, I have raised this child. Okay. Well, this child should be like this. And now that child is not like that. So, I am constantly in trouble. I'm constantly bothered by the fact the child is not like that. We created our own hell. If it was, I raised the child and I'm done. Suddenly, all tensions disappear. Tension, look at the tension. That was what Ramakrishna's first lesson in life was. A beautiful parable, and I like to repeat that to myself and to others again and again. Look at it. What a powerful message he got. Somebody asked him, how did you get on this path? And he said, I was the youngest in the family and there was constant turmoil in the family. One day I was walking on the river and I noticed that there were few vultures sitting on a tree. And they were just different branches. They were flying from branches from other to other as if they are playing with each other. And suddenly one of the vultures flew down to the ground, toward the ground, because she just saw a raw piece of meat. This vulture, when she flew toward the meat, the rest of the vultures also saw that she is gone. They followed. But because she was ahead of everybody, she picked the meat and went back on the same branch where she was sitting, held the meat in her paws and wanted to eat. But the other vultures caught up with her and started pricking her body with their beaks. And he said, I am wondering what happened to these guys. They were friends just a moment ago. They were playing with each other. Now they are trying to kill her. He can't figure it out. But he's wondering, in the meantime, because of their constant biting, she started bleeding and lost so much strength that the piece of meat that she was holding on the paws automatically fell back on the ground. And the rest of the vultures, seeing that the meat has fallen, flew after that, leaving that vulture alone. And I said, the light turned on in my head and I said, oh Krishna, if somebody is pricking you, that means you are holding something in your hand that someone wants. So there are only one of the two choices. Either be ready to bleed to death or open and let that piece of meat that you are holding, let it go. Make a choice. If you are bothered by something, it means you are holding on to a piece of meat that someone else also wants. What are the conflicts between the two people? Think about it. Isn't both the persons trying to win an argument? Win in a situation? Isn't that the case? Isn't somebody trying to prove I am right and you are wrong? So what is somebody holding in the hand? They are both holding on to their ego, to their pride, their sense of I am somebody. So the fight goes on. Nobody opens the hand and let it fall down. The choice is yours. If you are told, let go of your pride, let go of your ego because that's what is hurting you, can you do that easy? There are not too many people in the world who can get a message and then implement it in the same sense. Krishna was able to implement it. That's why he is the Paramahans and the rest of them are not. He saw the message. So no brother, no sister, no father, no mother, no friend could ever hurt him again. Because rather than telling them, don't hurt me, he looked and said, well, why am I hurt? Because I'm holding to my ego. It's the ego that feels happiness, it's the ego that feels hurt. Both of the characteristics belong to the I. I feel good, I feel bad. So if I don't want to feel good or bad, let the I go. Well, it's a message right now to all of us. Let's see how many of us can implement. It has nothing to do with whose fault it is. Everybody understands that because the masters from the day one has been repeating the same message. Hey, it is your ego, it is your arrogance, it is your own ignorance that is causing this. Wake up. Well, how many we have seen who became Buddhas and how many we have seen became Krishnas and how many are Nanaks are floating around? We will actually find the reasons not to do so. Majority of the people ask me, well, then everybody will walk all over you. Hey, I'm somebody, you can walk over me. Oh, thank you. You are somebody, don't walk over me. It has nothing to do with everybody walk overing you. It has everything to do with your spiritual awareness. Stop looking toward the other, the outsiders. Look within. That's the only way you can understand the Gurbani's message. Hoye krisan iman jamaile bhist dozakh mude. Why is it calling mude again? We've been told this thing again, but we don't get it. Muda means the one who doesn't know. There is no hell. There is no heaven. There is nothing out there on the ninth cloud. Attached with Maya, you are already living your hell. Freedom from the Maya, you are already living a blissful state. Mat jaan seh galli paya. The way this is here, I have a slight difference the way they have done it. You will notice the word jaan and seh are two separate words. And that the traditional translation is, and they read, mat jaan seh galli paya. Don't think that seh, sasa and hahinu sahari hai. Oinu saho pada lag paine, as if it is God. The word is together, mat jaan seh. Because if we make the argument that galli bati paramatma nahi milta, you can't just win him with words. Well, how many things you can win with words anyway? Anything of value, you can't talk the birds out of the tree, can you? No, it's not mat jaan saho, it is mat jaan seh. Ikatha hai, it's one word. Don't get this idea that anything can be achieved just by talking, by words. Why? Because the very first word, Amal kar dharti. You have to act. You have to prepare the land. Not just by talking, but by actually doing. So what is our life? We go to mandir, masjid, gurdwara, and we listen to all those sermons, and then we come home and do what? Actually, we don't need to even come home. We start doing right there. Right in the temple. All right, so now, how are you? How's the family? How's the business? Any new ideas? New design, new fashion, new clothes, new jewelry, new music, new movie. Right there, spending an hour or two under the influence of something being talked of a higher self doesn't stick with us for 1 minute. And Gurbani says, not with just words, not with just talks, not with just discussions, not with just analysis, but actually amal, by doing it. Mat jaan seh galli paya. Mal ke maane roop ki shobha, it bidhi janm gavaya. He says, what is happening to you? Say, on the contrary, you are so much trapped by the words, and then you are attracted by what? Mal. Mean the wealth, the collection. Mal is a very term, when we build the business, we say ki wajah mal pa rahe hain, bringing the investment. Mal ke maane means the pride. Roop ki shobha. Roop means what is visible. Shobha means the praise, the compliments. That's it. Total life goes on. You are the prettiest of them all. You are the wisest of them all. You are the handsomest of them all. You are the richest of them all. The world actually take pride in the fact who is the richest man on the planet, and they, right? Every year they pick somebody up and put somebody down, and pick somebody up and put somebody down. You tell me what is happening here? That Forbes list of richest 400 people in the world, they publish it every year. Okay, so first it was Bill Gates, and for 1 year Bill Gates came down and Larry Ellison went up. Okay, so what did it do to you? How does it affect your health? But everybody is waiting for that issue, Forbes issue of 400 richest people in the world. So what? But that's how we spend the life. Every year we have contest, who is the richest women in the world, richest in the state, richest in the country, prettiest in the... Who calls these people prettiest? It's mind-boggling to me. A few deranged people who have nothing else to do sit down and mark on say, this one is the richest of them all, prettiest of them all. Give her $100,000 so that she can travel around and sell few Colgate toothpaste. This is our life. You tell me, don't we watch those shows glued to the TV? Parsis Kambata once won the Miss India contest, didn't she? Where is she now? Does anybody remember? But that's the point. That is the flavor of the month. Has that happened to Kabir also? Is Farid also the same way? Do we remember Buddha the same way? Or Krishna the same way? Or Nanak the same way? Well, they certainly wasn't the richest or the prettiest or the most popular of anything. But that's the point. Gurbani says, you're wasting the life. In what? Mal ke maane, roop ki shobha, it vidhi janma gavaya. You wasted this carnation in the total useless activities. You didn't think about, is this helping you to rise consciously or not? I just came back from Washington after attending the wedding. There was an American lady over there. And afterwards she came to me and said, I know you said that the Western mind has difficult time in comprehending these concepts, and you are right. But I'm not one of them. I said, I'm glad to meet you. And she said, well, I don't want to be born again. I want to do something. But I don't know what. Because I thought whenever you came close to giving me the solution, you switched the language. You are speaking in English, then you turn it to Punjabi again, and I said, oh, I lost the secret again. I thought you were purposely teasing me.
And you were.
And I said, no, I wasn't teasing you, but where did you think you lost me? She said, no, tell me, what do I do? And I said, that's not so difficult. Every action that you take in life, before doing it, ask whether with this your consciousness is rising higher or falling below. Oh, come on. You think that's it? I said, that's it. I don't believe that. You pulling my legs. Nobody can get to the heaven by just doing that. I said, no, you haven't understood me, what I said. If somebody insults you, what happens to you? He said, I'll feel angry. I said, but then what you will do? Well, I'll respond back. I said, can you, before responding, stop and think, is the response having positive impact on my consciousness or not? Now she's quiet. I'm asking you, before reacting to any situation, your grandchild comes running to you and wants to give a kiss to the grandma, and the moho, the attachment arises from within. Can you at that moment stop and ask yourself, is this a trap for me, pull me down, or arising, taking me up? Nobody can do that. Come on, man. Now I know you are that. Those are the things you Indian people do. You never have a straight answer. You always have. Said, no, it is the straight answer. The meditation is not in getting up at a certain time on a certain day and bending 10 times that way and 20 times that way and 50 times that way. Meditation is when you are in the life, acting and reacting. to be completely mindful of everything that you do. And be aware, is this doing, pulling me down or letting me? Am I feeling a little lighter or feeling a little heavier? The day you are able to do that and start deciding the actions that will only make you lighter, you are on your way. That's what Gurbani is saying right here. Once she got that, she almost started dancing there. She said, it is so damn simple and so damn difficult. I said, that's why you don't see too many Christs running around in this country. It is that simple. But the problem is, there is no vacation from it. There is no Sunday time off. It is a 24 hours waking, sleeping, eating, drinking, talking. Everywhere is the same, a mindful thing going on behind the clock. Is this helping me to become lighter, or am I tying a little bit more weight to my consciousness? I am adding to the gravity, or I am cutting one thread at a time and becoming lighter to fly out to the yonder. But you have to learn to put the gap between, if somebody says, hey, and you slap, and then you say, I shouldn't have done it. You already missed it. Repentance afterward is a pseudo coin. It's not the real one. The whole of the system of Christianity is based on repentance afterwards. Do whatever you do from Monday to Saturday. Come Sunday, repent, and your batteries are charged for Monday again. That's it. And they don't go anywhere. Why? It's like taking a bucket of water and putting on the stove and warming up and then taking it down, warming up and taking it down, warming up and taking it down. It does nothing. That's what the Amal means. That's what discipline means. Understand, if you have the real urge and the desire to make this life, this particular janam, this particular carnation a fruitful one, then you have to do what? ऐब तन चिकड़ो ए मन मींद को कमल की सार नहीं मूल पाई पौर उस्ताद नित भाख्या बोले क्यों बूझे जा नह बुझाई. You have to get out of what? Say ऐब तन चिकड़ो. Ab means the negative energy. Chikkad means the quicksand. The negative energy is a quicksand for the mind-body system. It attracts, it pulls. All you have to do is taste it once. Ask anybody, including yourself, you say, what should we do now? I have this business, now I have these children, and now I have this family, now what to do? I got to, these are responsibilities, I can't get out of it now. Isn't it? Everybody same story. I am now in it, how do I get out of it? No, you don't need to get out of it. You need to recognize, acknowledge the fact that these are the weights for the consciousness that's pulling down. Now you consider them to be real. Start treating them as a dream, as an illusion, and start letting go. Therein lies the rub. It's mind-boggling. The customs we have made. The most annoying custom to me is the girl is getting married and whole of the family on the girl side is crying, including the girl. The eyes are swollen and the people run out of tissues because they're crying so much. Why the girl is going? Where is she going? Why she's getting married? Oh, you didn't want it to happen? Then why you did it? Oh no, it's such a sad occasion. We raised her with such a love. So, is she not coming back tomorrow? Is she going to disappear? Are you not going to play with her own children? You're never going to visit her. Is she not visiting you? Oh, what is so tragic happening there that whole of the family should go into tears? A crying frenzy. The customs. What childlike emotions? What attachments? Now, when you see the stupidity of these, uselessness of this, because the next day she comes back, and everybody's now the one who was crying around, they're all sitting around and say, well, what did they give you? You took so much from us. What did they give you? Let's show us. Mind-boggling. It didn't last even 24 hours of that sadness. Tell me, does vengeance feel good or forgiveness feel good? I rest my case. Does snatching away or giving gives you pleasure? Feeding a poor gives the pleasure, or taking, that's why they say, look at that crow. It's considered the most smart bird, but it always takes the food from the child's hand. We know the actions, the decisions which make the consciousness feel lighter, not burdened, not guilty, not shameful. We all know, with this decision, do I have to hide it from somebody that I did that? Will I feel ashamed that I did that? If I am going to feel ashamed or guilty, guess what? We look for the reasons not to do it. ये अपना घर लुटा दें क्या? ऐसे तो दुनिया सब ले जाएगी. दुनिया को लूटने में मजा है या लुटाने में मजा? Find out. That's what the meditation, that's what the Bhakti Marg is all about. Because you will notice that all the negative energy has one characteristic, which is a temporary pleasure, short-lived feeling. After that, it all becomes sour. It all creates a sadness, it all creates a guilt, a sorrow of some sort, no matter what that action is. The attachment will have the same result. You get more and more attached, whether you attach with a child, with an adult, with a neighbor, with a friend, with a thing, with a car, with a chair. Sooner or later they are going to go. The pain is going to be excruciating, depending upon your attachment. If it is just a thing and that you see, okay, fine, it's in my life. Not whether it's there, fine, it's not there, it's fine. And that's what Gurbani is basically saying. Negative energy. Abtan chikdo, ehe man meendko. Meendik means the frog. Frog always lives in the dirt. And why is the mind a frog? Have you ever noticed the frogs, few frogs sitting around the pond? If you haven't observed them, no two frogs will jump in the same direction at the same time. It doesn't happen. They are sitting together, one frog will jump in this way, the one frog will jump. They will do both not go in the same direction. It doesn't matter if there are dozen sitting, there will be dozen directions. Frogs never jump in the same direction. Every other animal, bird, will follow the other. Frogs don't. Because they have their own mind. That's what the quality of the mind is. It goes in different directions. Never consolidated, never together. Yeah. The birds fly in any direction. You would not find frogs following each other in a row. That's why the mind is compared with the frog. ਇਹ ਮਨ ਮੀਂਡ ਕੋ. So when you cannot move in one direction and you are a scattered brain all over the place, what happens then? Kamal ki saar nahi mool pai. Now what is a kamal? Flower. That flower which actually grows in the dirt. But the mind is scattered, it cannot just comprehend the quality of the kamal. Because how is the kamal living? It's right in front of us. As the water grows up, the kamal keeps on going up. It keeps the stem and the roots in the ground, but the leaf keeps on rising above. It doesn't let the leaf get wet with the water. And Gurbani says that's what the secret of life is. You live in this dirt, but stay above it. Don't let it touch you. What is the technique? Gurbani says, Bhaur Ustad Nit Pakhya Bole. He says, Bhaur, that bee that is humming around the flower. What is that bee doing? The messenger. He says, the guru, the master, is like that bee, who is repeating on a daily basis, Nit Bhakhya Bole. He is informing you every day. Go read any scripture, go listen to any spiritual master, they are all saying the same thing. But, kyun bujhe jai nahi bujhai? We are not able to grasp it. Why? Because we are caught in that, what earlier said, av tan chikdo, e man meend ko. We are lost in that, despite the repetition and constant warning by all the masters of the world, we still don't get it. So then what to say about such a soul? He says, well, all that can be said, that the grace has not yet come. That's all one can say. And get the essence of the whole meditation. आखण सुनना पाउन की बाणी एहे मन रत्ता maya. If you want to get the mind which is absorbed in the illusion of Maya, it has to do the discipline of what? Akhan sunna. Say your word and listen it to yourself. How did it become possible? Paun ki bani. Sound travels on only on the air. Right? That's why in Sikhism, Shabd is the Guru. Because Shabd travels on the wings of the air. It comes to us through the air. Pavan Guru, Pani Pita. That's why those of you who were here in Japji, we discussed that. If you follow that discipline, which is say the name, the word, which word? The Shabd that was said here. Beej Shabdo kar. When you say that Shabd, do what? Sun. Listen to it yourself. Means what? The mouth is going to say, the tongue is going to repeat. But ear must listen, your own ear. That means a karm indri must get tied with the gyan indri. If you just use with the karm indri, it will be useless. Which is what we do, right? We take the drums and the table and baji and say, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Ram, Ram, Ram. We continue doing it and nothing happens. Why? Because we have taken one half of the equation and ignored the second. The secret from Sikhism is the word that you are saying, your Gyan Indri must be attached with it. Not even a single syllable should be absent from your hearing process. Akhan sunna paun ki bani eh man ratta maya khasam ki nadar dile pasand hai. Because you are a farmer and the farmer has what? Khasam ki nadar. His will, his grace, his prasad dile pasand hai is totally acceptable. Whatever you do is fine. You have given me a charge, I will just perform that, which is japna और जपदियां होया सुनना. जिन्नी कर एक ध्याया, focus on that one. We have talked about that before also. Make sure that the meditation that you are doing, it is not of a mediator. It is of that creator. You should not make a god or a goddess right in the middle. Go to the one who made the gods and the goddesses. Go straight there. Don't be in the center. Jinni kar ek dhyaaya, but that's not what is happening. Here is an example, which is ती कर रखे पंज कर साथी. Little esoteric in the sense because it's a far-fetched simile. 30 days. Anybody remembers what happens? Which is the 30 days discipline? Islam. What do they do in Ramzan? Roze. 30 days of Roza. A physical discipline. Panj kar saathi, 5 namaz, 30 days. Made a ritual out of it. See, when you take any discipline and make a ritual out of it, Gurbani says, now shaitan mat kat jai. So you think that you are going to get rid of the devil this way? No. That's not the way. See, 30 days of Roza and continuous 5 namaz in those 30 days, hoping to achieve the ultimate state. Gurbani says, that's not what is hone. Nanak aakhe raha pe chalana. You have to get the real path to the spirituality. Otherwise, you are not going to get there. Raha pe chalana. What was our raha? We started Amal kar dharti, beej shabdo kar, sach ki aab, dit de pani, right? That's the raha. If you are not there, then what will happen? Say mal dhan kit kyun sanjai. You will stay in the outer world and collect material wealth. Other than that, nothing else will be rewarded. So, as you can see, that the similes here are so powerful. And today, last time we had seen Guru had taken the language of a businessman. And today, the same message is through the language of a farmer. The message again is the same. So, may he help us that we get this desire, need, and the urge to move on that path so that we can start preparing this body, this land, so that the seed of Nam can go in there. With that, I thank you all for coming, and we will open for any discussion.